Coffee is a growing industry in Uganda. However, it is being threatened by increasing land pressures, urbanization, population growth, and climate change. Farmers on Mount Elgon are heavily dependent on coffee for their incomes and livelihoods. It's therefore important that they empower these farmers with the right knowledge, skills, and on-farm practices.
All the work done on coffee is that you must prepare a nursery bed. Then you plant a nursery bed. Then after the nursery bed has matured, you transplant to the garden. But before transplanting, you must have dug the holes within the required spacing of 8 to 80 feet, down 2 by 2 when digging a hole. And then you occupy that hole with enough manure during the dry season like this. Then when the rain comes, you take the seedlings, coffee seedlings, to the holes and plant. Then after planting, you need to weed, you need to spray. Then after even pruning, then when it matures, you need to harvest. Now harvesting coffee, when you have planted, you must wait for a period of like 2 years. Then you start harvesting. Now the process of harvesting, you need to harvest ready berries. Now after picking only the ready berries, you take them at home or in a house, in a safe place. It sleeps there for a night. Then the following day, you put into a pulping machine. You pulp. After pulping, then you get the pulped coffee. Still you put back in the house for 2 nights to ferment. Then the following day after fermenting, you take for washing. You wash. When washing, we use baskets for washing. Now after washing, they become clean. That only the coffee berries gets off. Now when they are clean, you touch and feel they are clean. That slipperiness is over. Now you take to dry. Now the drying, if the season is like, if the sunshine is like now, when during dry season, the drying can take 3 to 4 days. But during rainy season, even drying can take 2 weeks or 3 before the berries dry. Yeah. Now after they have dried, you are either free to keep or to sell. That is now parchment. But if you are now to proceed, you need now still to take to a milling machine to get clean coffee out of the parchment. If you want to sell clean, that's the process.
The income from coffee is very, very important compared to other crops. I also grow other crops. I grow cabbages, but it gives me about just 5% of my income. I grow also matoke. You've seen my matoke plantation. I get from matoke about also 10%. But coffee contributes about 60% of my income. So it is very important.
The economic importance of coffee cannot be underestimated to local farmers, because it has demonstrated over time, since it was introduced in the 1900s as a cash crop, that it's a crop that a farmer can depend on. Previously, there's been a challenge of pricing, but currently it is among the most priced crops in this country. So I would say that a homestead that is having coffee right now, as little as 1/4 acre, is able to get at least 2 million shillings a year.
The income from coffee is much more better compared to other crops because coffee is a cash crop, and all the coffee that we get, it is just for cash, and we get them as a bulk. We get some big amount out of coffee because the prices are good.
Coffee is a cash crop in that when you have coffee, you can send your children to school at the proper time, and also you can buy even land. When you don't have land, you will get money to buy land. Even you will get even money to buy cows to pay dowry, because the money from the coffee comes at once compared to other crops. Now bananas, they are good, but it's not compared to coffee. Even maize, you cannot compare maize with coffee, because maize, their price is very low.
The growing of coffee in our family started from our grandfathers, then our fathers. So with us, we just adapted from them. We started growing coffee from the time we were born. We found coffee here. It was very useful, so we inherited it from our parents. Up to today, we are still growing coffee. Even now, outside my home, if you go outside there, we have some coffee seeds we have raised, ready to be transplanted in the rainy season.
Being the fact that it is a commodity which is traded world over, there is available market, and the returns on investment are a bit high.
The problem we get in coffee management from the time of picking to parchment, there is a lot of difficulties. One, when you are picking coffee, it needs you to be there all the time until coffee is brought from the garden to home, up to home. Then also picking is very expensive. To a person to fill a basin, you pay 5,000. If you don't pay them properly, they pick green beans and they mix with the red cherries. So when you pay them properly, highly, they will sort now the red cherries. And you have also to cook for them. Then also, for us, we used to take coffee away after bulbing. We used to take very far to the river to wash. So that all needs expenditure. And takes a lot of time. And the drying, we don't have even proper drying materials. We just depend on the sunshine. When you want to dry, the rain comes. You bring home. You take inside the house. That's why at times you don't get clean coffee because of the drying pigments. We don't have even shades. The environment before, in those days, it was not like this. In the early 70s, this environment was not like this. It was more greener than now. So it has been destroyed completely. That's why we are experiencing a lot of sunshine.
Previously, the trees were really many. There were really many people. The government actually planted the trees. People did not plant the trees. Until recently now, people started doing a lot of deforestation. However, we found problems after doing the deforestation, and we realized that there was need for planting trees. So now we started planting trees. It is actually not even now enough, because even in addition to planting these trees, people are planting exotic trees as compared to the natural trees which we used to have, which had a lot of importance, like bringing rain. That's why you can see there is climate change. We do experience many problems in relation to the selling of coffee berries and beans. The coffee berries, in its fresh form, we sell them very cheaply. They don't attract much money, but we sell them because we don't have money. The time requirement for money is not there. So, but the coffee bean is the one which gives us more money, but it requires a lot of attention in terms of pulping, cleaning, sorting, until it becomes the actual bean. So that time requirement is tedious for us. That's why we often sell it early enough to raise income for ourselves.
The coffee prices that are provided by the cooperatives, they are not transparent because they have never displayed a chart that here we buy coffee at this price. You know, for you just take your coffee and say, we are buying at this price. No evidence that that is the actual price. So when you are bad off, you just say, but there is no transparency.
The prices, these middlemen, for them, they are on business, so they don't want to tell us the price. For them, they come with their own price. And for us, when we sell it to them, we don't know even where they take. We just hear, take this way, they take this way, and they don't tell us the real price.
AFPEG collaborates with coffee buyers such as Falsen Coffee in order to create direct trade opportunities for the coffee farmers, limit price exploitation, thereby improving their livelihoods and sustaining coffee production at Mount Elgon.
Our perspective in this is, of course, to buy the coffee directly from the farmer. And hopefully we can give a better price through our open book model, where we give the farmer an insight into what I'm paying and what cost is between us and the farmer and his price. And the premium between that is going to be split between the partners that we have to handle the practical work and the farmers. So hopefully they will have a premium that is giving them a higher price. So that's one of the key benefits and the end goal. Until then, it's also a question of developing a more sustainable and more resilient agroforestry system. So mixing crops and giving more income in different crops give them more certainty to have steady income. That's one of the key issues, is to create steady income, so they're not that vulnerable to outside events that is taking away their income.